Hey guys, how are you doing today? Today's video is going to be training ground. We know that a training ground can be referred to as boot camp. And boot camp is a military training. It's a training camp for new recruits with strict discipline. It has intense and vigorous courses of training. Many different type of exercise, often done outside. Boot camp is a place designed to reprogram men and women into warriors. And we know that through boot camp, that's how the United States is the best military because the type of program that they have. See, boot camp is preparing recruits for all elements of service and all elements of life: physical, mental, emotional, and even leadership training. So, boot camp, I can say, is also preparing you for the elements of life. So, when I title this is you preparing for the good, the bad, or the ugly, and using it to your advantage. See, when everything in life seems that it's carrying away. And what do I mean by carrying away? Meaning that you're losing your peace, you're losing your control, your emotional stability, your confidence, your self-esteem. You're even losing a sense of your identity. You're at a place where you can't manage your daily living. What that means that you don't know if you're up or you're down. You feel hopeless. You're overwhelmed, mentally and physically drained. You're feeling lost. You're unsure of life's direction. You are no longer in the driver's seat of your life. Seems like everything is chaotic. It seems like the devil just will not remove his grip off of you. Yeah. This is you enduring a lot of obstacles and a lot of struggles. And in the midst of these struggles, you can't connect with your inner self. So I say to you, instead of fighting what's coming against you, use it to your advantage. Let your obstacles and your hurdles be your training ground, your boot camp. Initiate yourself into your own boot camp. Learn from what is being thrown at you. Take back your life. Take back your peace. Take back your mind control. But before you do that, before you look at the elements that's coming at you, you got to do some self-reflection. Now, why is it called for you to do self-reflection? Now, the reason why you have to do self-reflection is you got to know yourself. You got to know the seriousness of your situation. I don't want to sound off any alarms and you're not really enduring this. Now, a lot of us are fighting with our own selves and we're causing a lot of the havoc and the chaos ourselves. And we want to point fingers and blame, outside obstacles. And we want to blame, outside components. So do self-reflection, conversate with yourself and conversate with God to see where this is coming. But I'm pretty sure if you are enduring a lot what I've just mentioned, you are being attacked. you do have a whole rail of enemies. You do have warfare coming towards you. You know, your energy is being drained. So the seriousness of what you are enduring is not you trying to fight it off. Receive it. Now, I know you may say this lady is crazy. The reason I can tell you to receive it is because that is how I elevated myself. That is how I took back control of what I can control. Remember, life is not all promise for us to control everything. Some things you have no control over, but you do have control of your mind. You have control of your thoughts. You have control of how you react to certain things, which I'm still working on. You have control of the present, the here, and the now. So utilize this ground as your training ground. Self-control brings you clarity and insight, and you get to know yourself better. And you know what you have to work on. You know what you need to grasp on. You know what is reality. You know where you at and where you want to go. You know what is being taken away from you. You know the consistency of your physical, your mental, and your emotional stability. So self-control has a lot of good in it. If you are right now in a place that you are encountering these things, make it your training ground. Use all key factors that is coming against you that seems like a hindrance. Use it to your advantage. Prepare yourself. Renew yourself so that you may grow. Now, change also will bring hatred. Because some people want to keep you down. See, while you down, that's how they have control. That's how they can put that noose around you. That's how they can drain your energy. That's how they can, control your mind, control what they want you to think, how to react. Now, through this boot camp, you're taking back all the negative things and you're turning it into positive. You're using what God says, what the enemy used for my harm, God will turn it into good. Now, this is you taking the first step to God's promise and knowing that God is going to do all the rest. But you got to start working on yourself. You know that life sometimes spirals and carries us away. We know that the evil one and his minions, they're disrupting. They're causing havoc and chaos in your life. We know that evil exists, unfortunately. Lies exist. Manipulation exists. People make a living off of this. Conspiring, gathering together, huddled together, to bring negativity into somebody's life. They don't care who they hurt. As long as they're being fueled and they're staying in power and they have control. Your job is to take back your control. Utilize it. I can't say it enough. How do you utilize it? Know what your weaknesses are. Know what your attacks are. Seek for your peace. Change your reaction. Everything that is fueling them, that's giving them the energy, that's giving them the power, take it away from them. If it is in you and you have control of your mind, you have control of your reaction, change it. if you responded this way and it fueled them, go into peace mode, calm mode. But you got to live out what is coming to you. That is the only way. Hiding out won't do it. Fighting against it by yourself won't do it. That's why we're called, when we're being refined, we're called to come to the foot of the cross and lay it and give it all to Jesus. Let Jesus handle that part while you work on yourself. See, sometimes God lets certain things come into our lives. It's not God causing it, but He uses the negativity to refine us, to grow us for the betterment of our lives. Probably was lost, confused, probably stalled in a group, probably your life committed, continuous sins. And God decided that He was not going to lose this lamb. Even though you were dark and you were ugly and you were messed up, God decided this one I am not going to lose. And I'm going to use everything that's coming against he or she to give them the strength to fight back. You don't have to lift a finger. You don't have to seek revenge. God is the shepherd who cares for us, and He will protect His sheep. You are His sheep. Psalms 23. You don't have to fear. Don't give up. Don't run the other way. Don't hide behind that aluminum foil blind. Fight. You will come out victorious. You'll come out a top recruit for the army of Jesus Christ. You will have a story to tell that will amaze the world. People will look on your journey. You will make a difference. There's probably somebody watching in the shadows that is rooting you on. They can't step forward in the light. They can't take that chance, but they're rooting for you. So root for yourself. I know you may encounter obstacles in your life. You've probably even been bruised or wounded. You've been humiliated, lied on, shamed, given titles. That's what the enemy likes. They like titles. They like to say who's who and what's what. They like to use your past, but your past don't define you. But you have to make a change so that can exist. So when you say my past don't define me, they can look back and they can say what he or she is saying is true. There's a change. Romans 5, verse 3-4 says, not only so, but we also glory in our suffering, because we know that suffering produces perseverance, and perseverance, character, and character, hope. This passage is explaining how suffering in life can lead to hope. You have hope. You have to develop your character. You got to produce. Your suffering will produce and give you endurance. You have hope in God. Now, God has a rule of engagement. Now, God's rule of engagement is just meaning that, you have to have principles. You got to believe in His word, believe in our Lord Jesus Christ. When you're dealing with conflict, you got to love You got to forgive. You got to be non-violent. You cannot fight violent with violence. Violence with violence do not work. Not in the fateful path that you're taking. You know, we know that the Bible teaches us that Jesus Christ was a man of love. He opposed injustice. He opposed those who came against the wicked, those who were being treated unfairly. So you got to believe that he will fight this battle for you, but fight your internal battle, your inner battle. Fight your mindset. Leave the rest up to God. God will take care of your enemies. See, even God says, to love your enemies and bless those who curse you. Do good to those who hate you and pray for those who do you wrong. Matthew 5, verse 44. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Romans 12, verse 21. Giving into evil only leads to more evil. It leads to more pain and hatred. And hatred fuels like a forest fire. Hatred leads into obsession. So you cannot be a part of that war. You have another war that's raging in your life. So you have to work on yourself. You got to reclaim your peace, reclaim your life. You got to take the initiative towards bettering yourself. You got to rise from your adversity, your hardship, your obstacles. Let this battle that's coming against you be your training ground for development. Developing yourself into someone better. You got to learn from your setbacks, your challenges, your difficulties. Bounce back. Control the way you think. Control how you see. Because sometimes we analyze things that are not even there, but it's all in the mind control, what we were led to believe. That's why you have to do self-reflection. Self-reflection is not only reflecting on you, but reflecting on your situation. And if you still are confused, take it to God. Ask for clarity. Guys, I'm not making these videos for likes or clicks, but I want to reach at least one person somewhere down the line, knowing that they can feel it in my voice. If I did not take this path, I would not be here. My troubles are still ongoing. But for me, personally, my enemies are fighting against a ghost. Yes, I'm still here by God's graces, but they're fighting against the ghost. They're fighting against the person who they once knew. They're fighting against the person who had no control of her life, who herself was broken. That's why it was easy for them, because they counted on my reaction. So for me, they're fighting against a ghost. I will not return to something that I have prayed myself out of. It is still in existence, but for me, it's not. Every step, everywhere, everything that I encounter is a different world for me. So make it your way, your path, whatever works for you, but get out of it. Get out of the mind control. Don't let them predict what your next reaction will be. Take hold of what you can take hold. Control what you can control and leave the rest to God and them. Albert Einstein had a quote, and he says, adversity introduces a man to himself. So it's only through your adversity that you will know yourself. This is your training ground. You're forced to confront this. You have to. let's face it, let's be honest. If you didn't go through this, it would not have ignited you to make a change. And if you are going through it and you haven't decided, this video isn't for you. I say to you, call it blessed that you are introduced to this training ground, that you've given that opportunity, that your enemies who work so hard to destroy you, is giving you an opportunity to better yourself. They're giving you an opportunity to show your true self, your endurance, your resilience, your faith, so that you can help someone else. Every hard time, tough time has an important lesson. Use it. Listen, like I said, if it wasn't for this, you'll be stuck. You'll be like a dog chasing your tail. You'll still be in fear. And if you are, find out what is giving you fear and get yourself out of it. This is your training ground. You got to tap into your inner strength. You got to develop, you got to know who you are, and you got to build resilience. Deuteronomy 31 verse 8 says, "The Lord himself goes before you, and he will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsaken you. Do not be afraid or be discouraged." I encourage you to trust in God. Leave everything in his hands. And instead of you trying to do it yourself, work on yourself. Remember that Jesus is with you. If you allow Jesus into your heart and you allow him to fix everything for you, he will establish everything that is broken. The plans that he had for you that you walked away from, it wasn't taken away from you. He will establish your ways so that Jesus can win for you at the end. It was all necessary for your betterment. You'll come out of this boot camp empowered, disciplined, with mental transformation, and with a heightened sense of self-worth. So, use what's coming against you for your betterment so that you can have a story to tell. A story that you can tell yourself, and then that God can say, "My child, a job well done." So I love you with the love of Christ, and I will hope to see you on the next video. This is your training ground, and this is your boot camp. Bye.